very soon.
Well, we're just quickly shifting that, remaining on that same focus, the lingering fuel crisis, and to help us to understand it better is Adewale Sanyolu. He's an energy analyst, also the energy correspondent for the Sun newspapers. Thank you so much indeed for coming on Sunrise Daily. You have written about this repeatedly and even extensively. Do you think that if Nigeria decides to go the way of deregulation, we'll become better off? Or should we go the way of liberalization of the petroleum downstream sector?
I think I want to go with full deregulation of the sector, because I remember last year I was here and we discussed about this issue when we had the fuel scarcity, and nothing seems to have changed between then and now. It's practically some of those issues that we discussed are still there, because you don't expect someone who is into business, I mean the marketers, to import fuel and you peg the price for them that they cannot go beyond this threshold. And that is part of why we're having this problem, because they stopped importing. One, they couldn't get access to forests. That's why the fact that there was a directive from the Central Bank of Nigeria to the deposit money banks to give these marketers forex at a particular rate. And at the moment, they are conversing that they should be giving out 250 naira.
To be able to land at 445 naira.
To be able to land at 145. But that is not happening, and I don't know why that is not happening. Because there is still a backlog of subsidy areas that they are being owed. The DAPMAN, that's the depot owners, they are being owed about 800 billion. Now, for Moman, the major marketers, I don't have the figure, but I think it should be in the threshold of maybe about 400 or 500. I'm not sure about that. So with that, there is no way they can continue to be in business. So the only way to go out of this is that if we have full deregulation, so that marketers can fix prices, and subsequently the prices will come down.
Because some will argue, I'm sorry, some will argue that if you say, let's go the way of full deregulation, the telecom sector is not fully deregulated. As a matter of fact, what it is practicing right now is liberalization. And liberalization comes with a cap. That's why big telecoms operators cannot sell airtime more than 2 naira per minute. So will that not work well if we have to go the way of liberalization for the oil sector downstream, when the government says, okay, you can bring in your products, but don't go beyond this particular cap?
Well, I still think that will still pose some problem, because talking about liberalization for the telecom sector, you can see that we're still having some challenges with network issues and all that, in terms of drop calls and all that. But if we go the way of full deregulation, it will allow them to, it will bring about a level playing ground for everyone, and which I think is the best for the industry. And that is what they've been canvassing, because that is the way to go.
Have we put the right things in the right places before we think about going the way of deregulation, i.e., let all the refineries work so that we are refining locally and supplying locally and consuming locally? Yeah,
talking about the refineries, that is another big kettle of problem. As we speak today, the September statistic released from the NMPC, the combined capacity utilization of the 3 refineries is less than 7%. As we speak, is about 6.18% for the 3 refineries as we speak today. And total volume of PMS production for September from the 3 refineries is approximately 60 million liters, which is what Lagos will consume in 6 days. Because as we speak now, NMPC truck out to Lagos is about 300 trucks. And if we put it at an approximate level for each truck, 33,000 liters, that gives us 9.9 million liters. So let's just say approximately 10 million liters. So for the 3 refineries in a month, that is what Lagos will consume in 6 days. That's 60 million liters. So for the refineries are performing at an abysmal level.
So what do you think of Mr. Ikem's other guests in Abuja who just said that 2 of the refineries are back on stream. Is that reason to give hope to the Nigerian people, or is this just a mirage?
I want to believe that's a mirage, because I am not sure what the refineries are producing. Even if they are producing at full capacity, it cannot sustain Nigerians. It cannot give us what we need in terms of consumption. But at least we can augment with little import. But as you speak now, that figure, I just gave you the figure. So I don't know where that figure is coming from. I don't know where that figure is coming from.
Why does it look like it's so difficult to see exactly what's happening within the oil industries? The refineries cannot be refurbished or new ones built. It will take, they say it will take forever to build those kind of refineries. Please, why does it look so dark in the oil industry in Nigeria?
Well, there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of problems. But I think the best way to go with the refineries is to privatize them. And that was, I was taken aback when the Senate suspended the move by Oando and Eni on a build, operate, and transfer basis for the Port Harcourt refinery. That would have been the best way to go. Because at that, it's not at any cost to the government. They're going to fix the refineries, bring them back on stream, run them for a certain period of time, and return them back to government. But maybe due to political reasons, it was suspended. We cannot continue to pump money on turnaround maintenance and we are not getting the result. As we speak now, government is at crossroad with the refineries. They are not sure of what to do with it. Because at the point they were talking about co-location, citing some new refineries within the refinery to make them work. But we are not hearing anything about them again. So why not just privatize it and give it to private operators who can run them?
So we're at this point now where we're looking at the fuel crisis now in Nigeria. And Pengerson, before now, went on strike, and then it called off the strike even before it started. But they have given a time frame that in January they're going to revisit the issues if the government does not meet their demands. What level are we now? What assurance are we getting from the government? Say, for instance, that when Pengerson makes any noise again, it will be in 2050.
Well, for Pengerson, I think government should go back to the table and continue negotiation and discussions with them. Because you agree with me, before they went on this strike, they gave a timeline, and some things were not met. That was when they went on the strike. And now they've given them another time frame till about next year, maybe January or so, I can't remember. If some of these things are not resolved, we may likely find ourselves in this mess we have now.
Okay, let me just put you on hold. I'm being told that we'll have to close this session. Very important indeed. I want to thank you so much indeed, Adewale Sonyolu, an energy analyst and also reporting for the Sun newspapers extensively on the energy sector. I want to thank you so much indeed for your thoughts and your views on this troubling fuel scarcity situation we have in our country. We're going to be back in just a moment. Join us again.